Headphones on, the whispers begin.
What would you do if your dead mother started calling you every night? The first time it happened, I didn't answer. It was late, and I was half asleep when my phone buzzed on the nightstand. I squinted at the screen, expecting a spam number or some drunk friend. Instead, I saw it. Mama. My chest tightened. That contact hadn't been touched in years. I never deleted it. I couldn't. I stared at it until the call stopped. I told myself it was a glitch. Maybe a number got reassigned. Maybe some telecom error. There are logical explanations for everything. At least that's what I've always believed. The next night, it happened again. This time, I answered. I didn't speak at first. I just listened. Silence. Not the normal kind. It wasn't the hollow quiet of a disconnected line. It felt occupied, like someone was there, breathing softly, waiting. "Hello?" I finally said. Nothing. Then the call ended. I didn't sleep after that. On the third night, I was ready. I sat on the edge of my bed, phone in hand. When it rang, I answered immediately. Again, silence. But this time, there was something else. A faint sound, not quite a voice, more like fabric brushing against a microphone. A slow, uneven rhythm, breathing. My skin prickled. "Who is this?" I demanded. The breathing paused. Then, very faintly, I heard it. A whisper. "Son." I froze. The word barely existed, like it had been dragged through static. But I knew that voice, or at least my brain insisted I did. My mother used to call me that when I was little. Mommy? The word slipped out before I could stop it. The line went dead. After that, I started checking everything. Locks, windows, the hallway outside my apartment. I even spoke to my neighbor, an old man who barely left his place. He hadn't noticed anything unusual. I called my phone provider. They said the number wasn't active anymore. Impossible to be calling me. Impossible. On the fifth night, the whisper came back, stronger. "You are not alone." "You're not alone." My heart started pounding so hard it hurt. "Who are you?" I whispered. "What do you want?" Static crackled. "Listen." The call ended. I didn't want to admit it, but fear was settling into me like a slow poison. The apartment felt different now. Smaller, the shadows deeper. Every sound carried weight. I started noticing things. The faint creak of the floorboards in the hallway outside my door, long after everyone should have been asleep. A shape passing briefly under the gap at the bottom of my door, like someone walking by and stopping. Once I heard something brush against the handle, I stopped sleeping altogether. By the seventh night, I was unraveling. The phone rang. I answered with shaking hands. This time there was no silence. Her voice came through clearly, calm, urgent. "Don't open the door tonight." I couldn't breathe. "Mom." My voice broke. "What's happening?" A pause. Then softer. "He's been there before." My blood turned to ice. What who? But the call ended, and then knock knock. I jumped so hard the phone slipped from my hand. The sound came again. Slow, deliberate knock knock knock. I stared at the door. Every instinct screamed at me to stay still. "Open up," a man's voice said from the other side. "Building maintenance." I didn't move. "Sir, we've had reports of a leak. I need to check your apartment." My mouth was dry. I hadn't reported anything. No one had mentioned maintenance. The handle rattled gently. "Sir." My eyes darted to the peephole. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. A man stood there close, too close. His face was partially obscured by the angle, but I could see one eye watching, not blinking. And then he smiled, not a polite smile, not a reassuring one. Something else. I stumbled back, my pulse roaring in my ears. The knocking stopped. Silence. Minutes passed. Maybe more. I didn't dare move. Eventually, I heard footsteps fading down the hallway. I stayed awake until sunrise. The next morning, I called the building manager. There was no maintenance scheduled last night, she told me, and no reports of leaks. My stomach twisted. I hung up and sat there staring at the door. Then I noticed something I hadn't seen before. A small scratch near the lock, thin, precise, like someone had been working on it. I backed away slowly. That's when my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. Just a single image. I opened it. It was a photo of my door, taken from inside the hallway. 1 minute before the call, my hands started shaking. Another message appeared. Text this time. She couldn't stop me before. My heart stopped. A final message followed, but you didn't open. I stared at the screen, unable to move. Then, one last notification, a voicemail. From Mama. I pressed play. Her voice came through softer than ever. I tried to warn him too. A voicemail from Mama. I pressed play. Her voice came through softer than ever. I tried to warn him too.